Okay, basically this is about geometric sequences. We have two formulas that you already did in class. So you should know these two formulas. Also know these for your SAT. Okay, for when that comes up. And basically, remember what the difference between a sequence and a series. A sequence just means that it's a list of numbers. We're not adding them up. A series would be where we're adding it up. Also remember that R means common ratio, because you're multiplying by something, or you take the current term divided by the previous term. Also, this n minus 1 means the previous term. Okay, it's the previous term. All right, so the first set we're going to do is find the nth term of each geometric sequence. And my first problem is number 1. I have a sub 1 equals negative 10. And R, my common ratio, is 4. And n equals 2. So what I'm going to do is use my formula. Since I don't have the previous term here, I just have my first term. I'm going to use the formula a sub n equals r, or equals a sub 1 times, or a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. Okay, so, and they're looking for that term. So I have negative 10 times r to the n minus 1, and that yields negative 40, because this equals 1. Do that part first and then multiply. Okay, number 2, we have a sub 1 equals negative 14, r equals negative 1/2, and we have n equals 5. So I'm going to use a sub n equals a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. So I plug everything in. To the 5 minus 1. So this gives me negative 14 times negative 1/2 to the 4th, which equals negative 14 times 1 over 16, which gives you negative 14 over 16, which equals negative 7 over 8. Okay? Now let's try another one where we have a sub 3 equals 9, r equals negative 3, and n equals 7. So in this case, they're giving us the third term, and they want us to find the 7th term. They want a sub 7. All right? What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to pretend that my first term is 9. Okay? And in that case, if my first term is 9, so I have a sub 3, they're wanting a sub 7, a sub 4, a sub 5, a sub 6, a sub 7. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. So since we're skipping the first 2 terms, my n is really 5. Or you could have done 7 minus 3 is 4 and add 1. So if you do that, you don't have to use all these extra formulas. So we're going to pretend that a sub 1 now, this is really your a sub 1, is 9 times r to the my number of terms by doing it this way is, they aren't looking for the first term anyway, so I'm just doing it this way, is 5 minus 1. So that's 9 times negative 3 to the 4th, which is 9 times 81, which equals 729. Okay? And that's all. That's basically what you're doing for those. All right, let's see if we have any extra things. Okay, sometimes you're going to have to find the first 4 terms. So find first 4 terms. All right, and let's say we know the first term is -6, and we know our common ratio is -2/3. Now, I really wouldn't use a formula for that. I know I need 4 terms, ace of 1, ace of 2, ace of 3, and ace of 4. I know my first term is -6, and all I'm going to do is multiply by -2/3. When I do that, I'm going to get 4, -8/3, and 16/9. I'm just multiplying each of these. Let me do this in a different color, by -2/3. Multiply this by -2/3, and that will give you that, and so forth. All right. So here's one. We have ace of 1 equals 2, and r equals the square root of 3. So all I'm going to do is find the first 4 terms. I need ace of 1, ace of 2, ace of 3, and ace of 4. So all I'm going to do is multiply. I have 2 for this. And the second one, I'm just multiplying by this. So I get 2 root 3. Multiply this by that, and you get 6. Because that's just 2 times root 3 times root 3. This equals 3. And then we'll get 6 root 3. And those are your 4 terms. Let's try one with 2 radicals. We have ace of 1 equals root 2, and r equals root 3. So I need the first 4 terms. Now, when I multiply these, I'm just going to get root 6. I'm going to multiply this by this. I'm going to get, well, actually I messed up, because the first term I have to put here, and the first term is root 2. Multiply them together, you get root 6. Multiply these two together, and you get root 18. You have to simplify that. And multiply these together, and you get, what's 3 times 18? 54, root 54. Of course, you have to simplify this, so this would be root 2, comma, these should be commas, root 6. 18 is really 9 times 2, so that's going to be 3 root 2. And this one is really just 9 times 6, which is 3 root 6. And those are your first 4 terms. Okay, and that is all of this video.